بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب زدني علما.
So now we have already seen some of the stubs concept, like how to configure the stub, totally stub, NSSA and totally NSSA. So what we'll do is already we have seen in the NSSA where we are trying to allow these external routes to pass through, and you have the default route on the right side. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll try to mix up this. Now, what if I want to have the default route on both the sides? So what we will do is, in this case, I want this, I'm going to build a topology something like this, where you have the external routes on the right side, the 14 dot loop back interfaces on the router 4. Now, these external routes should be passing on till the border router, and the border router is going to generate the default route. That's what I'm expecting. At the same time, it is going to allow the external routes. So at the same time, it is going to allow the E1, E2 routes, the external routes on the opposite side, we can say. Okay, allow E1, E2 routes in the form of N1 and N2. That's what we want. That's what we did exactly the same. Now, what we'll do is we want the same thing vice versa, opposite side as well. So, which means I want to make sure that your external route. So, in my case, what we'll do is we'll do the same thing where you want these external routes to pass through till the border router. Okay, E1, E2 routes as well as OIA routes. Okay, we'll keep it as a totally stub. So, not just E1, E2, it is including the OIA routes. And it should stop these external routes and generate a default route on the right side. At the same time, I want these E1, E2 routes to pass through. Okay, that's what I want, which means now in this example, what we are doing is we are going to have two NSSs. So I'm going to make this as totally NSSA. NSSA or total NSSA is the same thing, slight difference. At the same time, I'm going to make this also as a totally NSSA. So in our previous labs, whatever we did only two areas, right? We just made area 10 and area 0, which was a good option to verify. But again, in the production networks, you will have multiple areas where you have the external routes coming from both the sides. So my requirement here is simple. I want to make sure that both the sides, I want to configure the NSSA or a totally NSSA, which will receive the default route at the same time, allow the external routes to pass through that particular area. So that is what our requirement. So the configuration commands remains the same. As you can see, there's a border router, the router 2 and router 3 acting as a border routers in my topology. So you can add more routers if you want. Additionally, if you want to make it more real kind of scenario, so you can just add 2-3 more routers additionally, and you can also implement. But as per our topology, I'll be sticking to these 4 routers, which will be good enough to do the verifications. So what we'll do, we'll quickly go back to the OSPF. I'll remove the OSPF configurations, okay, because we just do not want the OSPF to be running, because I'm going to completely reconfigure the OSPF. So we'll simply say no router OSPF 1. So assuming that we are going to continue the same topology, or you can simply stop the routers and start them. So as of now, the routers are not configured with any of the OSPF. So what we'll do is we'll do the configuration from the basic. So we'll do the configuration of OSPF and redistributions. So the redistributions will be only on the router 1 and the router 4 on both the ends. So let's first do on the router 2. So first I'll go to router 2, router OSPF 1, and I got the interfaces. Then I got the network, 1.network on the left side. It is in area 10, and 2.network is on the right side, which is in area 0 on the router 2. And then 20.network can just make it in any area because it's a LAN interface, not the WAN. And additionally, if you want to add the loopback interfaces, you can just add them, because I just want, my routing table should look very big. So you just add as many loopbacks as you can to make a more realistic kind like scenario where you have plenty of routes. There's no redistribution required on the router 2 because it's not the border router. So the same thing, we'll stick to the same thing, router OSPF 1, the network, left side, the router 3, the left side routes, 2 dot network, 2 dot network in the area 0, and then the right side network, which is 3 dot network in area 20. And the LAN interface, you can just keep it in any area. So I'm going to keep this 30 dot network in area 20, and then the loopbacks also I'll keep it in area 20. Okay, whatever the area 0 or 30, it's fine. Now coming to the router 4. So on the router 4, we'll first advertise the loopback interfaces. So let's say we have the router EHRP. I think we decided to use 200 on the right side. So we'll keep it as 200. And then we'll advertise these 14 dot routes. And we'll redistribute these routes, redistribute EHRP 200 subnets. And we'll also advertise the OSPF on 3 dot network, area 20. Okay. And additionally, the LAN interface, I can keep it in the same area 20. The 40 dot network. Okay. Now the same thing will go to the router 1. On the router 1, first I'll configure the EHRP to advertise the loopback interfaces, which will be treated as my external routes. Redistribute EHRP 100 subnets, and then advertise 1 dot network. Area 10, the WAN interface. I'm expecting the neighborship immediately because you should see these messages in the backend just to confirm that whatever the advertisements you are doing correctly doing. So if I don't see the message, or if I see any other message like area mismatch, then I can immediately go and correct it. So most likely, I think I'm done everything. So we'll do the quick verifications to confirm whether we're able to see the neighborship. So show IP OSPF neighbor to confirm the router 2 is having 2 neighbors. And also we'll try to confirm we are getting the routes. So we are getting the routes from everywhere. Like you can see the 11 dot routes coming from here, 14 dot routes coming from here, 13 coming. You can see all the routes coming. The same thing we'll check on the router 3 as well. We'll say show IP route OSPF. So we're expecting the 11, 14, 12, 10, all the routes are coming, 10, 20, 30, 40 as well. So we do have end-to-end reachability that is perfect, it still works without any stops. If you see from router 1, if I'm trying to reach out 11.001, we can reach out any loopback, any interface. The communication is working fine. But the problem is, again, the more bigger the size of the routing tables, the more it will impact the process. So what I want is I want to configure them as the stubs. So I cannot use the stub here because if I use the stub, the problem is you may get a default route, but you don't allow the external routes. So I decided to go with a totally NSSA because we have external routes passing through that particular areas, whichever is a stub kind. So on both the sides we have. So I decided to go with totally NSSA because that is much better than normal NSSA. Now what is the configuration commands? So I decided to use totally NSSA. So on the internal routers, we have to use area 10 NSSA, and on the border router, we have to say area 10 NSSA no summary. So in my case, this is my router 1 is my internal router. If you see router 1 is my internal router. On the left side, I'm doing so router OSPF 1 area 10 NSSA. Okay, and the router 2 is the border router. So here we don't have too many routers. But as I said, in the production networks, you will have at least 30 to 40 routers. So you have to be aware of. So only on the border router, I'll say area 10 NSSA no summary, which confirms that my router 1 and router 2 are configured as totally NSSA. So let's confirm this because I have configured this part. So what we'll do is we'll confirm the bottom part where I'm expecting on the router 1, okay, not on the router 2 because the router 2 is the border router. So don't check on the border router. Border router will not have the default route. So if I say show IP route OSPF, you can see I do have the default routes. I don't see any O routes, and the reason is simple. Because the O routes, I don't have too many O routes here. Let's say if I advertise the router to in area, router to interface. Let me check here because I just want some O routes to be shown here. So this is in area 0, network. Okay, this is OA actually. So OA coming from a different area, so it has the internal route. So what we'll do is I'll just change this to area. So just to make, at least one O route should be seen. That's something I generally want because just to confirm these things. So what I'll do is I'll go and check when it says show IP route OSPF. So you can see there is a O route and the default route. And external routes will pass through, but again, you cannot check external routes passing through because these routes are actually local routes. So you don't see them passing through, but still, I think I should be checking on the router too to just confirm. You can see those things can be seen on the router 2 because the router 2 is a part of the area 10 as well. But you don't see the default route here because it's a border router. So the border router will not have the default route. So that's the reason I said for a better verification, you can add one more router, then you will have a more clarity. But I just wanted to stick to my topology without making too many changes. Okay. So this basically confirms that your default route is coming, right? At the same time, the external routes are passing through. So this is like the same thing what we did earlier. Now what we'll do the same thing on the other side. So let's come to the other side and verify this part where I want the router 3 and the router 4, area 20. Router 4 is my internal router. So what is the command? Area 10 NSSA on the internal router. Whereas on the border router, what's the command? Router OSPF 1, area 10 NSSA, no summon. Done. So once I do this, what I'm expecting the default route. So I'll go to I'm expecting default on the router 4, right? Right. So let's confirm that. So if I say show IP route OSPF, sorry, the problem is I misconfigured it. I think I have given area 10 stub. Yeah, it's not area 10, it's actually area 20. Okay. So this is the advantage of doing multiple variations, because if you simply just follow the workbook, it is like copy pasting the command. So don't do that. You just need to know whether you did or right or not. So you can see just the area number changes because we are used to area 10 in SSA, which we generally do. So what I'll do, I'll simply remove the area 10 NSSA because this is not area 10, it's actually area 20 NSSA. Done. So what I expect a default route. You can see immediately when I'm not expecting the default route, I realize there is some error or there is some issue. And you can see now here, you have the default route, which means you can still reach out 11 dot loopback from 14 dot loopback end to end, no problems. So based on the default route. And at the same time, I have the O routes coming into it. So which means again on the router 3, if you check, you see it is going to allow those N2 routes passing through. The 14 dot routes will be passing through. So this is a kind of a typical production design where you might have a big area, like you just have a big area, like we have the area 0, let's say. And then you got some area 10, area 20, and area 30, 10, 20, 30. And there is a possibility you have some external routes coming from here, you have some external routes coming from here, you have some external routes coming from here. So then you can still allow the external routes to pass through from each other. Of course, when I say NSSA, it can be totally NSSA also. Okay, so I don't refer most of the time with totally NSSA, but generally when I talk about NSSA, it can be either totally NSSA or a normal NSSA. Okay, so you can just simply configure them as NSSA. At the same time, what we are trying to do here is we are simply allowing these external routes to pass through the stub area to other areas. Simple. At the same time, we are generating the default route. And again, still 2 areas cannot be a stub. Area 0 cannot be a stub. At the same time, area with virtual link cannot be a stub. So you just need to keep that in mind. But you can have the ASBR as a stub, but that is not a stub. That is not so stubby area. Okay. So typically you have this kind of designs where you have many external routes passing through from multiple areas. You can always use the NSSA concept to configure and verify.